This video is a lesson overview of lesson 6.2, which is all about real applications of normal distributions. These slides are based on slides provided by Pearson to accompany our textbook and then modified by me for our course. So this is the second section in 4 sections from chapter 6 of Essentials of Statistics, 6th edition by Mario Triola, that we will be studying in our course. In the last section, we talked about continuous probability distributions in general, and then we talked about normal distributions briefly, and then we talked about a special case of the normal distribution called the standard normal distribution. In 6.2, we go back to non-standard normal distributions. Most normal distributions do not have a mean of 0 and a standard deviation of 1. We're going to see a lot of data that looks like that in this section. So here are our learning outcomes. First, we're going to discuss the correspondence between areas and scores for standard normal distributions and non-standard normal probability distributions. We'll also review the formulas for converting from an X value to a Z score and vice versa. We actually talked about these a little bit way back in chapter 3 when we talked about measures of relative standing. We're revisiting those ideas here. And then once we have discussed that correspondence between standard and non-standard probability or normal probability distributions, we're going to find areas corresponding to a given range of X values where X is a normally distributed continuous random variable. So given a range of values, we're going to find areas or probabilities. In the third learning outcome, we're going to do that the other way around. We're going to find X values or a range of X values associated with known areas or probabilities. So in 2, we have a range of values and we want areas and probabilities. In 3, learning outcome number 3, we want a range of values and we're given areas and probabilities. So this is all material that we've talked about before. We were just talking about it with regard to standard normal distributions. Those normal or standard normal distributions, remember, have a mean of 0 and a standard deviation of 1. In the data sets in this section, we're going to be talking about normally distributed continuous random variables that do not have a mean of 0 or a standard deviation of 1, but they're still normally distributed. And it turns out through using some formulas, we're going to be able to do exactly what we did with z-scores and probabilities with these X values and probabilities. So here are the key concepts. I think I've already reviewed this a little bit. Non-standard normal distributions are normal distributions that do not have a mean of 0 and a standard deviation of 1. Either one or both of those are different from 0 and 1. And it turns out that normal or standard normal distributions and non-standard normal distributions are related by 2 simple conversion formulas. And then by making those simple conversions, we can find areas and probabilities and corresponding X values from non-standard normal distributions. So that's the plan. I will see you in the next video to discuss learning outcome number 1.